Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about one of the most powerful yet often overlooked forces in our lives, the power of focusing on yourself. We live in a world that constantly pulls us in 1,000 different directions. From the moment we wake up, we are told what to do, how to think, and even how to feel. People tell us what we should value, how we should measure success, and worst of all, what our worth is. We live our lives based on expectations that are not our own, and it leaves us feeling drained, confused, and disconnected from the very essence of who we are. But today, I want to invite you to pause and ask yourself what would happen if you shifted your focus to yourself. Not out of arrogance, but out of a deep commitment to discovering who you truly are and what you were born to become. First, let me remind you that the foundation of any meaningful life begins with self-awareness. If you do not know who you are, if you do not know the depths of your potential, how can you ever hope to reach the heights you were meant to climb? To grow, we must first look inward. You must ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What are my strengths? What are the dreams I have tucked away in my heart? It is in that quiet personal reflection that your true journey begins. Too many of us spend our lives seeking approval and validation from others. We live for the applause, the likes, the comments. But let me tell you this, when you live to please others, you live a life that is not your own. The dangers of external validation are many. It robs you of your authenticity, your creativity, and your unique perspective. The world does not need another copy of someone else. It needs you to show up in your full, authentic power. And that leads us to a powerful truth. You have a unique purpose. There is a reason you are here. You are not an accident. You were created with specific gifts and talents. And when you focus on yourself, you open the door to discovering and fulfilling that purpose. When you align with your true calling, you will experience joy, fulfillment, and peace like never before. But fulfilling your purpose takes more than just good intentions. It requires self-discipline. You cannot rely on the world to motivate you. You cannot wait for someone else to push you to greatness. The power of discipline comes from within. It is your personal commitment to rise every day, to make the sacrifices necessary, and to stay true to your path no matter the obstacles. Now, as you move forward in your journey of growth, I encourage you to embrace self-care. Too often, we neglect our bodies, our minds, and our spirits in the pursuit of success or the approval of others. But focusing on yourself means nurturing your total well-being. When you take care of your health, your emotions, and your mental state, you are better equipped to serve your purpose and impact the world around you. In the process of focusing on yourself, let go of the fear of judgment. You see, the moment you realize that others' opinions cannot define you, you are free. Free to be bold, free to take risks, free to make mistakes and learn. The fear of judgment is the greatest enemy to personal growth, and when you let it go, you unlock your true potential. I also encourage you to embrace solitude, the quiet moments that allow you to hear your inner voice. In those moments of reflection, away from the noise and distractions of the world, you gain clarity. You reconnect with your purpose, and you are able to take clear, decisive steps toward your destiny. Solitude is not loneliness, it is the birthplace of clarity. Now understand this: when you focus on yourself and grow into the best version of who you are meant to be, you don't just change your life, you change the lives of those around you. Your personal empowerment has a ripple effect. As you elevate, so too do the people in your sphere. You become a beacon of hope, an example of what's possible, and an inspiration to others to walk their own path of greatness. In closing, I challenge you to make a commitment today. Focus on yourself not out of selfishness, but out of the realization that your life is a gift and that the world needs you to become all that you were meant to be. You are the architect of your destiny, and when you take charge of your life, you open the door to limitless possibilities. You are powerful, you are unique, you are destined for greatness. But that greatness begins with you in this moment. Focus on yourself and watch how the world begins to open up to you in ways you never imagined. The importance of self-awareness. Imagine waking up every day and stepping into a life that is fully yours, where you are not living for others, not chasing someone else's version of success, but living a life that is aligned with who you truly are. The foundation of such a life is built on one powerful thing: self-awareness. Too often we go through life without ever stopping to ask ourselves, who am I? What do I truly want? What am I here to do? It's easy to get lost in the hustle, caught up in the expectations of others, and swept away by the noise of the world. We're constantly told what we should wear, how we should think, and even how we should feel. But in the middle of all of this, we lose touch with our most valuable resource, ourselves. Self-awareness is the ability to look inward, to honestly reflect on who we are, what we believe, and where we want to go. It's not just about knowing what you do well, but understanding what drives you, what excites you, and more importantly, what holds you back. True self-awareness asks you to go deeper. It challenges you to examine your motives, your fears, your values, and your dreams, to take a hard look at the stories you've been telling yourself, and to question whether those stories truly reflect the person you want to become. When you are self-aware, you begin to see your life not as a random series of events, but as a journey with purpose. You understand that every experience, every challenge, and every victory is part of your unique path. You see yourself as the architect of your own destiny, not a passive passenger on someone else's ride. Self-awareness brings clarity to your decisions. It helps you set meaningful goals, choose your relationships wisely, and take actions that align with your deepest values. Self-awareness also has the power to set you free. So often we find ourselves bound by the expectations of family, society, or culture. We live in a world that tells us how we should think, act, and live. And for many of us, that leads to a life of frustration and unfulfilled potential. We may find ourselves in careers or relationships that drain us, or chasing goals that others have set for us, rather than pursuing our own true calling. But when you take the time to understand who you really are, you free yourself from these external pressures. You begin to make choices that are true to your own desires, not based on what others think you should want. The beauty of self-awareness is that it enables you to see beyond the surface. It allows you to look past the mistakes, the failures, and the limitations you may have placed on yourself. And it gives you the vision to see the greatness that lies within. When you know who you are, you stop questioning your worth. You stop seeking validation from outside sources, because you realize that the most important approval comes from within. Self-awareness also connects you to your purpose. So many people walk through life aimlessly, wondering why they feel unfulfilled or disconnected from their work or relationships. The reason for this is simple: they haven't taken the time to understand their true calling. Your purpose isn't something you discover by chasing after someone else's dreams or by conforming to society's expectations. Your purpose comes from knowing yourself, your passions, your gifts, and the way in which you uniquely contribute to the world around you. When you are self-aware, you stop wasting time on things that don't serve your higher purpose, and you focus your energy on what truly matters. But self-awareness doesn't come overnight. It requires courage. It requires honesty. And sometimes it requires silence. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention through social media, work, family, and everything else. But if you want to understand who you truly are, You must be willing to step away from the noise. You must be willing to take a quiet moment to reflect, to listen to the stillness within. It's in these moments of solitude that your true self emerges, free from the judgments, distractions, and expectations of the world. As you become more self-aware, you will begin to notice changes in your life. You will find that you start to attract people who align with your values. You will begin to make better choices, guided not by fear or uncertainty, but by a deep sense of purpose. And most importantly, you will feel a sense of peace that comes from knowing that you are living the life you were meant to live, not the life someone else designed for you. When you are self-aware, you are not just living for the moment, you are living for your future. You are making decisions today that will shape the person you become tomorrow. You are investing in your own growth, your own well-being, and your own destiny. And this is what creates a life that is full of meaning, full of impact, and full of joy. So I challenge you today, take a moment to ask yourself, who am I? What do I want for my life? What am I willing to do to get there? When you understand yourself, you can begin to understand the world around you in a whole new light. And with that understanding, you can step into your greatness, not as someone who is lost, but as someone who is fully found, fully alive, and fully in control of their own destiny. Personal growth is not just about becoming a better version of yourself. It's about knowing who you are at the core, understanding your values, your strengths, your passions, and even your weaknesses. True growth begins with self-awareness, with a deep and honest exploration of who you are. Because you cannot grow into the person you're meant to be if you don't first understand where you're starting from. Just as a builder can't construct a strong, enduring structure without a solid foundation, you cannot build a life of purpose and fulfillment without knowing yourself first. Knowing yourself is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation on which everything else in your life rests: the relationships you build, the career you pursue, the way you handle challenges, and the way you connect with others. When you know yourself, you stop chasing empty dreams that aren't aligned with who you truly are. You stop following trends or trying to live up to someone else's version of success. Instead, you begin to make choices that reflect your deepest values and your unique purpose. The journey of self-discovery is not always easy. It requires courage to confront the parts of yourself you may not like or understand. It's about getting honest with yourself. And that can be uncomfortable. But it's also the most liberating thing you can do, because when you know who you are, you stop apologizing for your existence. You stop trying to fit into a mold that was never designed for you. You stop asking for permission to be yourself. And that is when the magic of personal growth happens. To know yourself means to understand what excites you, what motivates you, what moves your heart and soul. It means being able to identify the dreams that stir your spirit and the goals that push you to grow. It also means being honest about your weaknesses and your fears, acknowledging that you are human and that growth is a continuous process. Knowing yourself requires that you embrace not just your strengths, but also your imperfections, because they are part of your story and your journey. So often we get distracted by the expectations of others, the opinions of family, friends, society, and we start to lose touch with what we want for ourselves. We seek approval, we chase external markers of success, and we make decisions based on what others think is best. But the truth is that nobody knows you better than you know yourself. And nobody can chart your path but you. When you truly know who you are less likely to be swayed by the opinions of others. You become confident in your choices, secure in your decisions, and grounded in your purpose. Knowing yourself also gives you the clarity to set meaningful goals and pursue them with intention. It allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters, rather than getting caught up in the distractions of the world. When you are clear about your values, your passions, and your goals, you begin to align your actions with your vision for your life. You no longer waste time or energy on things that don't serve your growth. You begin to see the world through a lens of opportunity, and your choices become more intentional and deliberate. But knowing yourself isn't just about self-reflection, it's about taking action based on that knowledge. Personal growth is an active process. It's about taking what you've discovered about yourself and applying it in the real world. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and challenging yourself to grow. It's about identifying the areas where you need to improve and taking the necessary steps to do so. Knowing yourself empowers you to take ownership of your life and your future. It's the key to unlocking your full potential and stepping into the person you were always meant to be. Knowing yourself also helps you navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. When you are clear about who you are, when you understand your strengths and weaknesses, you are better equipped to handle adversity. You stop being thrown off course by every setback or obstacle. Instead, you see challenges as opportunities to learn, to adapt, and to grow. You develop a mindset that says, this is hard, but I can handle it. I know who I am, and I have what it takes to push through. And as you grow in self-awareness, you begin to develop deeper, more meaningful relationships with others. When you know yourself, you are not threatened by other people's success or opinions. You become more secure in your own identity, and this gives you the freedom to support others on their own journeys. Knowing yourself allows you to communicate more authentically, to listen more deeply, and to connect with others on a level that transcends superficial interactions. You stop seeking validation from the outside world because you have already validated yourself. And that is the power of knowing who you are. True personal growth is not a destination, it's a continuous journey. And the foundation of that journey is rooted in knowing yourself. It's about constantly evolving, constantly learning, and constantly embracing the person you are becoming. As you grow in your understanding of yourself, you begin to experience a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose in every aspect of your life. You move through the world with clarity and confidence, knowing that you are on the right path. The foundation of personal growth is knowing who you are, not just on the surface, but at the deepest level. It's about understanding your purpose, embracing your true self, and living a life that is aligned with your deepest values and dreams. And when you know yourself, nothing is impossible. You become unstoppable because you are grounded in the truth of who you are, and that truth will always lead you to growth, to fulfillment, and to the life you were always meant to live. In today's world, we are surrounded by a constant noise that calls for our attention, messages from social media, advertisements, friends, family, and society as a whole. Each of these sources tells us what we should be, how we should act, and who we should strive to become. And whether we admit it or not, we often find ourselves chasing after the approval of others. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking external validation, to place our self-worth in the hands of others. But let me tell you, this is a dangerous game. Because when we seek validation from the outside, we give away our power. We place our happiness, our success, and our sense of self in the hands of people who may not even fully understand us. The dangers of external validation lie not just in the approval we seek, but in the way it shapes us. The moment you allow the opinions of others to dictate choices, you begin to live a life that is not your own. You start shaping your actions, your decisions, even your dreams based on what others think is best. You shape your goals not according to your deepest desires, but in response to what will make others happy or what will earn you praise. You may find yourself on a path that looks successful to the outside world but feels empty to you inside because it was never your path to begin with. When your self-worth is tied to external validation, you become a slave to the judgments of others. You may perform, you may try to please, you may put on a mask that fits the expectations placed upon you, but it's exhausting. Living for validation is like living in a constant state of approval seeking, constantly chasing the next compliment, the next accolade, the next like or share. But no matter how much you chase, there's always another bar to hit, another expectation to meet, another person's approval to gain. It's an endless cycle that leads nowhere but burnout, frustration, and confusion. The truth is that the moment we seek validation from others, we become vulnerable. We give away control over our happiness and peace of mind. Our emotional state starts to depend on what others think of us. If they praise us, we feel good. If they criticize us, we feel bad. And in this emotional roller coaster, we lose sight of who we truly are and what we are capable of. We stop trusting our instincts and start relying on others to tell us if we are worthy, if we are enough, or if we are doing things the right way. This need for external validation also keeps us stuck in a state of fear. We become afraid to take risks or step out of our comfort zone because we are afraid of what others will think. We become afraid of failure because we fear the judgment that comes with it. We may even abandon our dreams, compromise our values, or hide our true selves simply to fit in, just to avoid the discomfort of being criticized or rejected. In a society that thrives on comparison, we find ourselves measuring our worth against others, whether it's our achievements, our appearance, or our status. The truth is, when we let this external comparison define us, we will always fall short. There will always be someone with more, someone who seems more successful, someone who seems to have it all together. And if we tie our worth to these comparisons, we will never feel whole. But the most dangerous part of seeking external validation is that it disconnects us from our own inner voice. It drowns out our intuition, our instincts, and the wisdom that resides within us. We stop asking ourselves, what do I want? And start asking, what do they want from me? The more we seek approval from others, the more we silence the authentic self that is calling out for expression. We stop following our true calling and instead we follow the crowd. We forget that each of us has a unique purpose, a unique path. And that only by listening to our own voice can we find the strength and clarity to walk that path with conviction. External validation robs us of the freedom to be ourselves. It forces us to live according to this idea of someone else's idea of success. It tells us that our worth is determined by how others see us or how much we can please others, and this is a lie. True value comes not from what others think of us, but from our own self-awareness, our own understanding of who we are and the purpose we carry within us. When we rely on external validation, we create an unstable foundation for our self-esteem. Praise and approval are fleeting, they come and go. If you rely on them to feel good about yourself, you will constantly be searching for the next moment of external reinforcement. But if you build your sense of self-worth on something deeper, on the truth of who you are, on your values, on the knowledge that you are enough just as you are, then you become unshakable. You stop living for the applause of others and start living for your own peace and fulfillment. Let me be clear, seeking feedback, learning from others, and being open to constructive criticism is valuable. But there's a difference between seeking growth and seeking validation. The former helps you improve, evolve, and become the best version of yourself. The latter keeps you stuck, constantly trying to meet expectations that were never yours to begin with. The true path to freedom, to real growth, to real success is in releasing the need for external validation. It's in understanding that you are enough exactly as you are. It's in trusting your own instincts, aligning with your purpose, and making decisions based on what is true for you, not based on what others think. When you stop chasing approval, you open the door to authentic living. You begin to honor yourself. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. You start living with confidence, with clarity, and with purpose. So ask yourself, where in your life have you been seeking validation from others? Where have you been shaping your decisions, your dreams, or your actions based on the opinions of those around you? It's time to let that go. Trust in who you are. Trust that your worth is not defined by anyone else's perception of you, but by your own deep understanding of your value. And when you live from that place, you will experience a freedom and a peace that external validation can never give you. There is a truth that resonates deep within each of us. Whether we're fully aware of it or not, you are here for a reason. Your life is not an accident, and the experiences you've had, the talents you've been given, and the passions that stir your heart are all part of a bigger plan. Yet so many people go through life searching, unsure of what that purpose is, and often feeling unfulfilled or disconnected. But the most liberating thing you can ever do is discover and embrace the unique purpose you were designed to fulfill. And when you align with that purpose, your life becomes infused with meaning, direction, and a deep sense of fulfillment. Your purpose is more than just a career or a title. It's the very essence of who you are. It's the calling that comes from the deepest part of you, the part that knows your potential, your strengths, and your capacity for greatness. It's not about seeking validation or approval from others, but about understanding the contribution you are meant to make in this world. Each of us is born with a blueprint, a divine design, and when we learn to live in harmony with that design, everything in our lives begins to fall into place. The search for purpose often begins with understanding who you are, your passions, your values, and your unique gifts. So many people get caught up in what society defines as success, fame, wealth, status, and they try to chase these things thinking they will find purpose there. But true fulfillment never comes from external markers of success. It comes from within. It comes from aligning with what makes your heart come alive. It comes from identifying what you were uniquely created to do and stepping into it with courage and conviction. Your purpose is not something you need to seek out as though it's lost. It's already within you, waiting to be discovered. Often we overlook the quiet whispers of our soul because we're distracted by the noise of the world. We look for validation outside ourselves and fail to listen to the still, small voice inside that knows exactly what we were made for. But when we begin to listen, when we start to pay attention to the things that excite us, that move us, that make us feel alive, that's when we begin to see the shape of our purpose unfolding before us. Purpose is not always something that happens overnight. It's a journey of discovery that requires patience, self-reflection, and a willingness to take risks. Sometimes it takes stepping into the unknown, trusting that even when you don't have all the answers, you're walking towards something greater than yourself. Your purpose is often revealed through the things you're passionate about, the moments that stir your spirit, the challenges that stretch you, and the opportunities that excite you. Each of these moments is a piece of the puzzle. The more you tune into your heart, the clearer your purpose becomes. Understanding your unique purpose also means embracing the fact that it will look different from anyone else's. Too often we compare ourselves to others, measuring our success against their achievements or wondering why their path seems smoother or more defined. But your purpose is uniquely yours. It is not meant to mirror anyone else's, nor is it subject to society's standards of success. The world needs what only you can bring. The gift you have, the way you view the world, the way you approach challenges, no one else can do that quite like you. And when you step into your purpose, you stop competing with others and you begin to create the space for your own unique contribution to flourish. The purpose also gives you direction. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose focus. It's easy to get sidetracked by what others think is important or to chase after things that don't truly matter to you. But when you understand your purpose, you gain clarity about what deserves your energy, your time, and your resources. Purpose gives you a lens through which you can view your decisions, your relationships, and your goals. It helps you prioritize what aligns with your vision and lets go of the things that don't serve your growth. Your purpose acts as your internal compass, guiding you through life's complexities with a sense of peace and confidence. There's also an incredible power in understanding your purpose because it leads to a sense of fulfillment that cannot be achieved through external accomplishments alone. People may chase after wealth, fame, or success, but these things do not bring lasting satisfaction. The most fulfilling life is the one that is lived in alignment with your true calling. When you are walking in your purpose, you find yourself less concerned with what others have or what others think. Your fulfillment comes from doing what you were created to do, from serving in the way you were meant to serve, from showing up in the world as your truest, most authentic self. Moreover, understanding your purpose allows you to navigate life's challenges with resilience. When you know your purpose, setbacks and obstacles no longer feel like roadblocks, they feel like opportunities to grow, learn, and refine your journey. You begin to see challenges not as signs to quit, but as stepping stones that move you closer to the fulfillment of your calling. Purpose gives you the inner strength to persevere in the face of difficulty, because you know that every challenge is part of the greater story of your life's mission. The beauty of purpose is that it also connects you to something greater than yourself. When you understand your unique role in this world, you realize that you're part of a larger tapestry. You are not here by accident. Your life is meant to have an impact, to touch others, and to leave a legacy. The work you do, the love you give, the ways in which you serve, these are all contributions to a greater collective good. You are part of a movement that is bigger than your individual life, and understanding your purpose aligns you with this grander vision. No matter where you are in your life, no matter how uncertain or unclear your path may seem right now, know this: you are not lost. Your purpose is already within you, and the journey you are on is helping you uncover it. Embrace the process, trust the unfolding, and know that with each step you are getting closer to living the life you were always meant to live. When you discover and align with your unique purpose, life becomes more than just a series of random events. It becomes a powerful, meaningful journey. Every day, every action, every challenge takes on new significance because you are walking in alignment with the reason you were born. And there is no greater sense of fulfillment than that. So I urge you today to stop looking for your purpose outside of yourself. It's not something you need to chase or wait for. It's already within you, waiting to be discovered. Trust the quiet whispers of your heart. Embrace the journey of self-discovery and let your unique purpose be the guiding force in your life. When you align with your purpose, you step into a power that is greater than any external approval, any fleeting success, or any temporary measure of validation. You begin to live not for the world's applause, but for the joy and fulfillment that comes from being exactly who you were meant to be. Your life matters, your journey matters. And the world is waiting for you to show up as the fullest expression of yourself. When you know your purpose, you walk with confidence, clarity, and a sense of peace that transcends every challenge. So let go of doubt, step into your greatness, and start living the life you were always meant to live. The world needs what only you can offer. And when you embrace your unique purpose, you'll not only change your own life, you'll change the world around you.